Have you ever had a situation in a game where you had to put a negative modifier on a player, but you just, for some reason, your players forgot it, and then you didn't remember until a couple rounds later to ask them to calculate that in? Well, this video is going to be about making modifiers easier for your table and for you. Ultimately, this will help the GM. It'll also make it so you don't have to go back and say, okay, that was -1. You would have failed, so we're going to do a -2 on this turn or whatever. You don't have to do anything crazy. You just stick with what you had. But before I jump into that, I just wanted to point out that I have my Brigade Con shirt. It just came in the mail today. It has a little logo on the back. I'm going to try and turn so you can see it. There you go. So I'm loving it. It's really comfortable. I like it a lot. It's soft. Go pick one up if you haven't yet. I believe they're over on the Brigade Con website and then through a Teespring. So anyways, now that I got that out of the way, I also want to mention that I had mentioned a while back to some people in a blog post on my website over on rpgjuice.com that I recently found out I had diabetes. I've lost 18 pounds in the last 2 months-ish, and I've lost, since finding out I had diabetes, about 13 pounds, roughly. So anyways, really excited about that, and looking forward to continuing that. Another little thing going on is in September, we have a convention here in Michigan called GrandCon. I'm going to be there. I'm going to get a hotel room, drive all the way to that side of the state in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I will be there for the weekend. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. If you're going to be in the area or you're interested, let me know. Maybe we can meet up and maybe play some games together, or who knows, at least just talk, or if you want to do a little quick video if you're in one of our communities or whatever. I'm open for that. I love collaborating with you guys. So yeah, just let me know. Now, onto the video. So making modifiers easier. Now, this came up because in my game this past weekend, my players were supposed to be out of rations when they left the caves, and I told them because of it, I wanted them all to suffer a penalty for exhaustion at -1. And they said, okay, that's fine. They all made a note of it, and then we kept playing. Well, about halfway through the session, after they had done 2 long rests and already found food, we realized we had forgot to do the negative modifiers for everything. So it got me thinking, because it's not just new players. I know new players are the big thing. It can be tough. Like, just using 5th edition for an example, having to, add your strength modifier and your proficiency modifier for your to hit, but then you don't have your strength modifier for damage. And I usually write stuff out on my paper so I don't have to do a lot of math. But I've noticed other people don't put everything on their sheet. They'll say, okay, this is my to hit or my damage die, and then they actually do the math every time. So there's people do different things with their character sheets. I have found eliminating the math on my character sheets helps. So I just can go, oh, okay, my longsword, I'm a +5 to hit because I already wrote down that I'm +5. I know that's a 3 from my strength and 2 from proficiency, but ultimately I don't want to do that math every time. So I know it's +5 to hit, and it's +3 for damage at the end. But veterans, they do things differently. Everyone's got their quirks, I guess. And new players sometimes don't even know where to look anyways. But what I think would make it better is if, as a DM, when we prepped, maybe we know the players are low on rations or they're going to run out, rather than tell them, hey, you guys are going to be suffering this -1 penalty, just role play it out. Give them the description of what's going on. Hey, your character, is really feeling the effects of not being able to eat the last, 3 days and being out of water for the last day. They feel really fatigued. And instead of telling them what the mechanics are of it, just add to your difficulty. Say, that this combat's going to happen, add 1 or 2 to the monster's armor class. The difficulty checks, the perception checks, everything. just up it by like 1 or 2 points, whatever you feel you would normally penalize the players on. Do it in reverse. That way it's only one person having to do it. If it's on paper, you're not going to forget it because it's in your prep notes. You're going to be fine. You know, like I said, this isn't rocket science, but I think this is an effective way, one, to not bog the players down with mechanics. Two, to make sure you don't leave out, you know, any of these effects that you were thinking of. Excuse me. You don't need to put any tokens under your characters or anything like that. So I think ultimately that's just my little tip for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And let me know what you think of this tip. Do you think it works? Do you think this is a good idea? Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to put more ownership on your players. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks.